Hey, what's happening? I am Uncle J. I can be speaking to you about anything in the world, but today I'm going to be giving my predictions for UFC 144, which features the bout between Frankie Edgar and Benson Smooth Henderson. Okay, the first prediction I'm going to give is going to be for, let me see, Jake Shields and Akiyama. This is a really interesting fight. You have Akiyama, judo base. His striking style is very straightforward. He comes at you. There's nothing really scientific or clever about what he does. He just comes at you, puts the pressure, and relies on brute force. Then you have Jake Shields, who is excellent wrestling, has excellent jiu-jitsu. His striking is, but this is a really interesting matchup. Akiyama is making his debut at welterweight, which is, which will be interesting to see how he looks and whether he still has the power he had at middleweight. For this fight, I'm gonna have to go with Jake Shields, simply because for Jake Shields to do what he does best, you actually have to be there, and Akiyama will be there. So I just feel he's gonna take him down, ground and pound him, and then submit him. I see this happening in the first round, actually. Next fight I'm going to predict is going to be between Ryan Bader and Rampage Quentin Jackson. You have two wrestlers that like to box or stand and bang, as they say. Rampage doesn't really have outstanding offensive wrestling. As I said, he's not going to shoot across the cage to take you down. In fact, he doesn't really use his wrestling to attack. He usually just relies on his boxing. And the only good thing about his boxing is that he has knockout power in both hands. Other than that, he's not like smooth or slick or anything like that, but he does have good boxing. He doesn't have good offensive wrestling, but he does have good defensive wrestling, so it's very hard to take Rampage down. Ryan Bader, on the other hand, he has boxing. His boxing is a bit more fluid than Rampage, but it's not as technical as Rampage. He has knockout power as well, and he has really good offensive wrestling. This is actually a toss-up for me, but I'm gonna have to lean towards Rampage. I just think Rampage is, because Bader's his style, he tends to rely on overpowering his opponents, and I don't think he can overpower Rampage. I don't think he's gonna be like a Rashad Evans that's gonna be too quick for him, and I just think Rampage's technical boxing is gonna expose Ryan Bader again. I see Ryan Bader getting knocked out somewhere in the second round. Yeah. And now for the main event. Frankie Edgar, or I should say Frankie the Answer Edgar, versus Ben Smooth Henderson. This is a really good fight. This fight has the potential to be fight of the year. Let's break them down. You have Frankie Edgar, the champion, extremely good footwork, good speed, good boxing, good wrestling, and just very savvy in the ring. He's very clever. He knows what he's doing. He's not going to knock you out, but he is going to pick you apart if you don't know what you're doing. Then you have Ben Henderson, who is just good everywhere. He's good in striking, he's good in wrestling, he's good in jiu-jitsu, and he's always in good shape. So, he can go hard for 5 rounds without any problems. Frankie Edgar has the advantage in speed, but the speed isn't that much. So if Frankie Edgar is like a 10 out of 10 in terms of speed, Ben Henderson will be like a 9.2. So Ben Henderson can't keep up with Frankie, even though Frankie is faster than him. In terms of power, I have to give it to Ben Henderson. He's a lot more physical out of the two. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna have to lean towards Ben Henderson. I think Ben Henderson is extremely dangerous. He's extremely powerful, physical, fast, and I think if he gets Frankie Edgar in trouble the way Gray Maynard got him in trouble, he's gonna finish the fight. And I actually see Ben Henderson winning this fight either by technical knockout or knockout in the second round. As usual, I like to give a scripture when I do these videos. The scripture I'm going to give today is going to be from 1 Corinthians 10 verse 12. And this just touches on the fact that we as human beings, well, first of all, you need to have a relationship with God and not rely on self-confidence, but rather rely on God's confidence. Because being self-confident from a spiritual context is quite futile, because who are you? You're not perfect, but you know, having your confidence in God, in someone that is perfect and knows everything, even things you can't fathom, just makes the most sense. You know what I mean? Alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave your comments, let me know what you think. If you like the scripture that I gave earlier, then you can click on the link below to a weekly online show that I do called Bible Study with Uncle Jay. The link below will take you to the playlist, and you can just pick either the latest one, or you can actually go through all the videos done so far. But anyway, that's it. I'll be doing another video after UFC 144, and I'll be doing a recap on UFC 144 as well as the Jake Ellenberger versus Diego Sanchez fight. So yeah, take care, live long and prosper.